Good evening. Before tonight's Tri-Valley matchup with the Norwood Mustangs, we'd like to take a moment to honor our seniors and their families from the senior team and from the football team. We're going to start off with the cheerleaders. We're going to call them out one at a time with their families. First up for the cheer team, we have Addie Hassler with her mother, Amy Hassler. Do I sound louder now? Thank you. All right, so I'm going to say that again. We're going to welcome our senior families and members of the cheer team and football team. Apologies, and I think that's a little difficulty. Alright, we're going to try this one more time. Our first member of the cheer team for the seniors is Addie Hassler with her mother, Amy Hassler. Our next senior for the cheer squad is Eva Roseberg, the international student with her host parents, Andrew Longoria and Elizabeth Longoria. Next up, we have Gabriella Samandayev with her mother, Golda Samandayev. Congratulations to our senior cheerleaders and their families. And now for our senior football players. Number 2, Braden Hicks with his mother Lisa, his brother Ryan, his grandparents John and Judy, his aunt Sarah, and his uncle Sean. Next is number 4, Kevin Prasanna with his parents Prasanna and Jayanti, and his brother Karun. Next up are numbers 5 and 10, brothers Paul and Robert Licker, with their parents Eric and Paula. Next is number 6, Colby Lavalene, with his parents Alan and Kelly, and his grandma Jean. Next is number 7, Seamus Murphy, with his parents Renee and John Murphy. Next is number 9, Devin Canty, with his parents Lynn and Eric and his sister Lauren. Number 13, Andrew Budden, with his parents Joe and Lauren and his sisters Julia and Alyssa. Number 15, Avery Rabbit, with his mom Robin Rabbit. Number 20, Eric Susan, with his mom Tracy, his dad Michael, his brother Calvin, his grandparents Sandy, Bernie, and Marge, his uncle and his aunt Neil, Kathy, and Karen. Number 21, Joey Terraza, with his parents Lynn and Jean and his sister Olivia. Number 70, Evan Van Beek, with his parents Kevin and Andrea, his brother Hayden, and his sisters Morgan, Emma, Lila, and Ivy. Number 71, Brendan McGowan, with his parents Ken and Michelle, and his brothers Sean and Colin. And last we have number 75, Justin Sokol, with his parents Mark and Mary and his brother Jake. Congratulations once again to our senior members of the cheer team and the varsity football team.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Hopkinton Hillers Varsity Football on HCAM. Tom Nappy alongside Wally Henneberry for their first TVL Large matchup of the season. They have yet to play a divisional game, but today they will meet up with the Norwood Mustangs in what should be a great battle. These two teams have had some very good battles against each other.
Yeah, we were talking before, and you said that a lot of times these matchups can get crazy. So we're kind of looking forward to a great game between the two of them tonight.
Absolutely, and pretty much in general, any TVL Large team against another TVL Large team, there's been some great battles. And this is the first week that the TVL is playing the divisional matchup, so huge week across the TVL.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a big week. It's always a big game when division rivals meet each other. And here they come.
Here are your Hopkinton Hillers in their alternate orange jerseys, ready to go against the Norwood Mustangs. Hillers 3-1 on the season, and they're getting off a tough loss against a very good Foxborough team. It was a great defensive battle last week. The Hillers defense certainly came to play last week. They were really good, but the offense couldn't get too much going against that stingy Foxborough defense. But I don't expect that to be the case throughout most of these games.
Yeah, last week the defenses were what the whole game was about. Hillers had a really tough time. They could only manage to squeak out 3 points. Their defense was very good. The only time the Foxborough scored was on 2 turnovers deep in their own territory. So the defense was ready. Let's see if they're ready again tonight.
Absolutely, and I'm sure they certainly would like to produce a little more offense tonight, but it's not every game that they don't produce offense. Taking a look at the schedule throughout the season, the Hillers started off with a 16-6 win over Wayland, a dominant performance on the road in all facets of the game. Then they took down a very tough Algonquin team, 22-18. They really got the running game working that day.
Yeah, that was a great game at home.
Certainly was. And then a great win in Westboro, on a Saturday, 39-13. I expect the Hillers to really just kind of brush off that Foxborough loss and pick it up right here, because these divisional games, these are the games that are the most important.
Right. Yeah, they really should leave that one behind and kind of take the positives out of that game and move forward with the positives.
Absolutely, and let's take a look at some of the leaders on this Hopkinton Hillers team. As far as rushing, it's been all about Joe Carrazza, 190 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns, team leader in both yards and touchdowns. He's tremendous in the backfield and nearly impossible to bring down.
Right, yeah, he really is good when he gets the ball in open field. Even in tight spots, he's really shifty. He's hard to bring down. Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to break too many wide open, but it's always there for him at any moment.
And then when you're talking about receiving, Seamus Murphy is a guy who has really rose to the occasion this season. 16 receptions for 165 yards and a touchdown. And, of course, you can't forget about Sam Pantera, 13 receptions, 201 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, the receivers have been very good when they've been able to catch the ball. They really turn a lot of yards after the catch. That's a great thing to see. It really helps the quarterback out.
It certainly is, and the Hillers, they also have some very good defenders as well. Carlos Linton is a guy I always look at, 29 total tackles. Fun player to watch, but right now, let's send it over to the PA announcer.
Season opener between the visiting Norwood Mustangs and your hometown Hopkinton Hillers. Norwood is led by head coach Mandy Lopes and captains Sean Steves, Joey McHugh, Casey Sheehan, and Ethan Brownville. The Hillers are led by head coach Mark Sanborn and captains Braden Hicks, Robbie Litter, Kevin Prasanna, and Justin Sokol. As always, the Tri-Valley League is committed to the highest ideals of sportsmanship and establishing a healthy environment for interscholastic competition. The league will not tolerate negative statements or actions directed towards competitors, game officials, or fans in attendance. Such actions include taunting, trash talking, and degrading of players, coaches, and officials. The Tri-Valley League has adopted a zero-tolerance policy. Warnings will not be issued, offenders will be ejected. Please respect all decisions made by officials. Please respect fans, coaches, participants, and opponents alike. Now please rise for the Playing Around National Anthem, as performed by the Hopkinton High School Band, along with the Hopkinton 8th grade band, led by Craig Hay. Off to Norwood.
cam as the kickoff sails back to about the 20, the return from the 10, and it is going to be taken up to about the 28, 29-yard line, and that is where the Norwood Mustangs will start the first drive of the game.
Yeah, low line drive kick that didn't travel too far by Ravitch's standards. A surprising kickoff we're not used to seeing.
So we're going to look at this Mustangs offense to start things off.
Tom, they're going to start at about the 26-yard line here.
Certainly will, and they are going to line it up with quarterback under center, lone man in the backfield, and it's going to be a pitch to the up back, taken for a couple of yards. Sean Steves, starting quarterback for Norwood. And on the carry, that was Joey McHugh.
Yeah, just an easy handoff right up the middle for 5 yards.
I think they're going to feel out this Hillers defense for a little bit before they open up that playbook.
Yeah, they got 2 receivers wide, tight end, a fullback, and a running back.
They go I formation in the backfield, and it's going to be a pass over to the far side, and it is caught, taken up to about the 45. That'll be enough to move the chains. The reception hauled in by the sophomore Brian Dearborn.
First and 10 Mustangs from their own 44.
So the Mustangs quickly move things up.
And they're going with that same formation. They haven't changed since they've gotten in there. It's obviously something they're comfortable with.
Out of the eye once again. And it will be a handoff this time. That's taken for a couple of yards there. That was Manny Luongo, the senior. So it looks like Norwood, they're going to work relatively quickly, but kind of nickel and dime their way up the field.
Right, that's what they've done so far. They're not going so fast that they're not letting the defense substitute. The Hillers did just run a different man in and out.
Steve's lined up under center I formation, and he is going to hand it off once again, and this time the Hillers ready for it. Justin Sokol in on the stop to bring down Luongo. And I apologize, I almost confused him with his older brother there for a moment, but a nice stop by Justin Sokol, who had a couple of tremendous stops in that Foxborough game.
He really did, and they were just like that, where he knifed into the backfield and was able to get the ball handler right away without any fooling around. And he's good for a few of those a game.
And that'll bring up a 3rd and 8 to go for Norwood. This Hillers defense has been stingy throughout the season, only allowing about 14 points on average per game. I formation once again in the backfield, back to pass, looking to his left, and he's brought down. In on the sack, Charlie Petruni.
Yeah, Hillers blitz there off the end, and right when they needed it. That's just great. That's what good defenses do is when it's a 3rd down, they go right after the ball handler and they get them right off the field. Nice sack for a loss.
It certainly was, and now Norwood will punt it away as Colby Lavelinette back to receive. And right off the snap, we have a whistle. Did we have some premature movement? And we did. False start Norwood.
They're pushing back another 5 more yards. So this is exactly what a team wants to do when they defer, when they win the toss and they defer the kickoff. Is you want to put the game in your defense's hands and get the ball right back. Then you start the second half with the ball.
And they will punt it away from 5 yards more back, as getting the kickoff is going to be Anthony L. Dougie. And it is going to sail to about the 31. Not much of a return as Kinsey James gets there, and that's where the Hillers will start this drive.
Yeah, let's see if the Hillers offense can really open things up today as opposed to last week.
I have a feeling we'll see a bit more offense in this one. Norwood is fresh off a good win over Medfield, a 28-0 shutout win over Medfield. Big TVL large win for them last week. They are 2-2 on the season. Hillers, of course, 3-1. We'll take you through the standings in just a moment. As Robert Litcher lines it up out of the gun. Carazza in the backfield. Stack receivers along the near side. Hands it off to Carazza. Up the far side he goes. Eludes a couple tacklers. Gets past the 40 up to about the 45 before he's brought down. A nice gain there of about 14.
That's what we've been waiting to see from him. You knew he had it in him. He's got the moves. Really just took it, got around the edge, and brought the ball upfield for 14 yards. That's a great run.
Right off the bat, the Hillers move the chains. Let's take you through the TVL standings in the TVL large. Westwood and Ashland, Holliston, Hopkinton, all 3-1. Norwood 2-2, Medfield 1-3. Very competitive TVL large. Litcher going to line it up out of the gun. Carazza in the backfield. 3 receivers spread out to his left. Takes the snap, hands it off up the middle, and he is just going to run over defenders, pick up a few yards out of that. It looked like he was stopped dead in his tracks, but he just kept going.
Yeah, he got a nice push from his offensive line once he first get contact. The offensive line, I think, got behind him and kind of sprung him free for a couple more yards.
So they give him 5 yards. A nice run by Carazza. TVL small standings, we'll take you through those. Dover Sherborne 4-0, Millis 3-2, Bellingham 2-2, Dedham is 2-3, Norton 0-3, Medway 0-4. Litcher lines it up out of the gun. Carazza in the backfield, takes the snap, hands it off up the middle. He goes, and he breaks a couple tackles, and he'll get the first down plus a yard or two as he works his way into Norwood territory.
So just in the short time we've been watching, what I'm noticing is the offensive line is getting a much better push, really working well compared to last week. So they're opening up holes for Carazza and giving him a little bit of an opening there.
There's a 9-yard pickup for Carazza. And I'm hearing it's raining a little bit out there, Wally, so weather could play a factor in this game as Litcher lines it up out of the gun, takes the snap, and he's going to pass up the middle, and it's incomplete. That was a bullet in the direction of Sam Pantera.
Yeah, he really rifled that one right through his hands. Yeah, I don't know about the rain here. I don't see any umbrellas out in the crowd yet.
I don't either, but apparently there's a chance of rain and maybe some sprinkles are coming down, but nothing significant, if anything. Temperatures, it's a nice evening out there. Temperatures in the 60s. One of the warmer evenings we've had for a Hiller home game.
Yeah, it's a beautiful night.
Litcher going to line it up out of the gun once again. Carazza in the backfield. Motion from right to left, Petruti in motion. Takes the snap. He'll pitch it back. Here goes Carazza. Finds a little bit of room. Up the left side hash marks, working his way to about the 36.
Yeah, he's really getting room to run tonight. That offensive line is just really opening up holes and holding their blocks.
It was about a 10-yard pickup as the Hillers keep the chains moving.
Yeah, you can really see that on this play right here with the action coming toward us, toward the camera. Lots of open space for him to run, where last week he had no space to run.
Well, that Foxborough defense, I mean, you got to give them credit. They were just very good against the run.
Yeah, that front seven was really, really good.
Certainly was. Litcher going to line it up out of the gun. Carazza in the backfield, sticking with the same theme, and this time he's going to pass up the near side, incomplete. Overthrows his intended target, Paul Litcher. That was a good look, but a little too much mustard on that pass.
Yeah, I think Paul had beaten his man, but he's going down the sideline toward the corner, and the ball just kind of sailed out of bounds. It wasn't really catchable. But it's good to see your receivers getting open.
It certainly is. And one thing we're going to talk about throughout the course of this broadcast is the MIAA rankings. We just had the first rankings come out, and we'll tell you why those are significant. As Litcher going to line it up out of the gun with Karatza in the backfield. Two receivers spread out to either side. Takes the snap, pitches it back to Karatza. He'll sweep up the far side and get a couple before he is brought down by Ryan Conley.
Yeah, a little less room to run. Couldn't quite get around the corner there.
They threaded him a yard, 3rd and 9.
So here's our first 3rd and long situation so far. We'll see what they do here.
You imagine they'll probably try for the pass. Well, they're getting some good runs. They're getting a lot of those 5-6 yard runs.
A little play action would help seal the safeties.
Litcher calls for motion. Petruni moves over to the right slot, takes the snap, and he's back to pass, rolls to his left, throws upfield, it's incomplete. Intended target, Charlie Petruni. That was just right through his hands.
Yeah.
Well, when you take a look at the rankings, the Hillers in Division II ranked 23rd. The top 16 automatically get in. Besides that, you have to finish above the 500 mark. So right now the Hillers in the category that they are above the 500 mark. So if the season ended today, they would get in. But they could clinch a playoff spot by winning just one more game.
So, Tom, here we go. They're going to go for it here. They're close enough to the end zone where they don't really want to punt.
Litcher out of the gun. Karatza in the backfield. Takes the snap. Throws the screen to his right. It's caught. And it is going to be taken up to about the 25 or so. But that is short of the first down. And it's going to be a turnover on downs.
Yeah, that's too bad. They were really moving the ball really well right up until that last series of downs.
Yeah, I like the play call, but Norwood just ready for it. They were defending those edges very well.
All right, so here's the defense again. See what they can do here.
And this is going to be a run up the middle, taken to about the 34. Well, the Norwood defense, they bent a little, but they certainly did not break, and they have the ball back. On that run, that was number 9, Jack Dwyer, the sophomore. You're going to realize Norwood uses a lot of different running backs. They've already used 4 different running backs.
So that's nice. If they're all productive, it keeps them all fresh.
They're going to line it up out of the eye this time. Motion from right to left. Play action, hands it off, and it's taken to about the 39.
Yeah, the motion man really was a decoy there. Quick snap. Looked like he was going to give it to him for a sweep, but hit the man right up the middle for a short run.
A pickup of 2 for Norwood.
All right, let's see if the Hopkins defense here can get him off the field one more time on 3rd down.
Kind of showing a similar offense to what we saw from Algonquin, just that quick-moving, versatile offense. This time, Steves will line it up under center, man in the backfield. He will hand it off. It's going to be a run up the gut, and it'll get close to the first down, but stop just short.
Yeah, very close. They're not signaling for a first down yet.
Oh, looks like they will give it to him. Perhaps a yard of progress there, but it will move the chains. Norwood right back up to the line. And they will once again line it up out of the eye. Ryan Kelly spread out to the right. Takes the snap, hands it off, run up the middle, and he'll push his way up for a 3 or 4 yard gain here.
Yeah, right up the middle for about 3. Yeah, looks like they're going to give it a short run, maybe 2 yards there.
Norwood just keeping it moving along. Persona on that last stop. And I think their strategy is try to tire out this Hiller defense. They'll go I formation once again. And they do many different things out of the I formation. And they're going to fake the run here. Pass up the middle, incomplete. Intended target, Casey Sheehan.
Yeah, you're right about that, about the formation. Yeah, they're running that power I in the backfield with 2 wide receivers on either side. And they've run out of that set the whole game. So they don't want to try to give anything to the defense ahead of time.
If you take a look at Norwood's schedule so far this season, they've had some very tough opponents. They took on Stoughton and lost in their first game, but took down Falmouth on the road and then went toe-to-toe with a very good Silver Lake team. So they've certainly been battle-tested, as this time they're going to line it up out of the gun.
Yeah, so I was going to say, as soon as we say that, they change their formation.
Right, they're listening to us. Steve's going to throw it to his left. It is caught, but it's not going to get anywhere. It was hauled in by Jack Dwyer, but he couldn't even get a step before he met up with Carlos Linton.
Yeah, great open field tackles. Wide receiver screen, no blocking, and one of the Hillers came undefended right in on him.
That was a loss of about 3 or 4 yards, and they're going to punt it away, already facing a 4th down. Colby Lelandette back to receive.
I'll be interested to see if the Hillers ever return a punt here. And here it is.
Here we go. Won't get very far. A couple of yards before he's brought down by Ryan Kelly, but the Hillers get the ball back.
But at least by handling the kick, they don't give up that extra 10 or 15 yards on the roll that they seem to be giving up every time.
Right. 1 minute, 31 seconds left in this quick-moving first quarter. Hillers get the ball back. And so far we've had a punt, turnover on downs, and a punt, so we're getting a defensive type of game up till now.
Yeah, like an early boxing, like early couple of rounds in a boxing match, just kind of feeling each other out.
Right. I have a feeling we'll see the playbook open for both teams more and more as this goes on. Litcher out of the gun. He's going to hand it off to Carazza as he'll take it up the far sideline up to about the 36-37.
Yeah, he looked like he had a few yards open in front of him, and someone just swiped at his ankle and got him.
We'll mark him for about 3 yards there, 2nd and 7. Hillers moving along at a good pace as well offensively. Litcher going to line it up out of the gun. Carazza in the backfield. Motion right to left. That's Persona in motion. He'll hand it off. Run up the middle. And he broke a tackle. And it looked like he was going to get a couple more steps, but then he was just surrounded and brought to the ground by a number of Mustangs, including Thomas Lynch.
Yeah, it looked like his lead blocker got through the hole, and the hole was gone by the time Carazza got there.
They actually marked him back right around the line of scrimmage, or maybe a yard back. Brings up 3rd down for the Hillers. And that is going to do it for this quick-moving first quarter. So both teams kind of just feeling each other out. And at the end of one, it is a scoreless game. And Wally, I don't know about you, but I still have no clue what to expect in this game based on what we saw in the first quarter.
Yeah, that was, I don't want to say a whole lot of nothing, but not a whole lot happened. Hillers seemed to move the ball a little bit. on their first drive, but no points, not a whole lot of action.
Right, I have a feeling the action will step up a bit as this game goes on. I can certainly say the last 2 times I've seen this Hopkinton-Norwood matchup, it has been quite a game. In the last meeting, last year, Norwood defeated Hopkinton 38-16. And that game was a lot closer than the score indicates. A lot of those points were scored when the Hillers were kind of desperate fighting their way back. But the year before that was an absolute shootout that the Hillers took. So Norwood trying to break up the split here from the last couple of years.
Yeah, we're not seeing those kind of offensive fireworks yet.
Litcher out of the gun, takes the snap, looks up the middle, throws up the middle, has the target, it's all in. Here goes Sam Pantera, and he's brought down in Norwood territory at about the 43. A nice reception there.
Yeah, that's a great play. Nice long pass. Got about 25 yards there on that one. Right up the middle. We were talking about a fast-moving first half. That's because the ball stayed in the field. Nobody went out of bounds. Lots of running. Clock just ticking away.
Yeah, I'd imagine Sam Pantera is a guy we'll see more involved in the offense as this game goes on.
Yeah, I hope so. I'd like to see him get open downfield like that again.
Robert Litcher set to go. Lined up out of the gun. Karatza in the backfield. 2 receivers either side. He'll take the snap. Hands it off. Karatza cutting towards the near side. Finds a little room. He'll take it to about the 36-35 before he's brought out of bounds.
Yeah, nice. Another good pickup for Karatza.
There's a very nice pickup of about 7 yards. Brings up 2nd down and 3 for the Hillers.
Clock is stopped.
We did get, actually, that is
out
true.
of bounds. Yeah.
Even though he got out of, right, he did get out of bounds. Yeah. Back to the line they go. Litcher out of the gun. Karatza in the backfield. We'll call for motion. That is Pantera in motion. Takes the snap, looking up the right side, and towards Seamus Murphy. Incomplete, but we have a flag.
Yeah, that's going to look like pass interference right on the goal line on Norwood.
Seamus Murphy had the defender burnt, but a little extracurricular activity, and this will benefit the Hillers big time. That's going to give him 15 yards.
Yeah, he had beat his man by about a yard, and so the guy had nothing to do but to grab him.
In the NFL, you'd get up to the 1 yard line with that call, but in college and in high school, it's just a 15-yarder. But that will give the Hillers a fresh set of downs and move them up to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, still a good chunk of yards.
21-yard line there lined up, Matt.
He's got 4 receivers out there.
Litcher out of the gun. Karatza in the backfield. Hands it off. Karatza cutting towards the near side. Breaks 1 tackle, and he is able to pick up 3 or 4 there.
Nice run. We thought with the 4 receivers split wide, he's got the defense spread all out, which kind of helped him out there. I was worried he wouldn't have any blockers, but he had more space to work with.
And whenever it seems like Karatza has nothing, you can't bank on that because he turns nothing into a big gain all the time.
He does, yeah. He really is elusive.
Litcher out of the gun. Once again, Karatza in the backfield. Takes the snap, and he'll throw to the near side. It's dropped by his intended target. It was Paul Litcher.
Yeah, so now we're looking at a 3rd and 5. Again, they're really close to the goal line. I'm wondering if they go fourth down here, if they might kick the field goal at this point.
You got Avery Ravitch, one of the most reliable kickers, I would say, in the state.
Yeah, he's a really good kicker.
I think you
he
might
gives
see
team options that other teams don't have.
Right. I have a feeling you might see him kicking after his high school days.
Yeah, that would be great for Hopkins and Pride.
Absolutely. Litcher out of the pistol this time, hands it off to Carazza. He gets about a yard.
All right, so now we'll see what they're going to do here on fourth down.
Ravitch is warming up.
The offense is staying on the field so far. Yeah, here they go. Now they're switching out.
Avery Ravitch and the kicking unit going to try to add 3 and give the Hillers the first points of the game. This is going to be about a 38-yard field goal. Or excuse me, a 33-yard field goal. It's blocked! And it's a loose ball. Who's going to get to it? And it'll be covered up at around the 45. And that'll be Norwood ball, and they will have pretty good field position to start this drive.
Yeah, that's another tough one for the Hillers. Every time we say this, every time they get a lot of momentum going, something bad comes to just stop the momentum.
And that was a good field goal block. The Mustang who blocked it just had a wide open path.
Yeah, it really just blocked it flat. It wasn't a deflection or anything, just shot it right back.
Norwood will start with their best field position yet on any drive, as they will have it from the 44. And we are going to have a timeout. 9:05 left to go in the first half. And Wally, once again, just another one of those seesaw momentum games.
It really is. It looked like the Hillers had all the momentum going down. Then they got the pass interference penalty in their favor. And then the next thing you know, Norwood is up on the 40-yard line with the ball. No points scored against them.
Absolutely, and it should be an interesting game all throughout, especially if this trend continues. But some TVL news and notes. Norwood Mustangs hired a new boys basketball coach. Chris Frioli takes over at Norwood for boys basketball. And also, Hillers Unified Basketball fell to Norwood in a very close game, 43-37. You saw that on HCAM earlier in the day. And in boys soccer, Dedham with a big win against Westwood, 2-0. Back to football action here at David M. Hughes. Mustangs with the ball, and it is going to be a pitch that will not get anywhere. In fact, that'll be a small loss. Devin Canty and crew in on the stop.
And we got a holding penalty on Norwood.
The Hillers' defensive front just overwhelmed them that time.
Yeah, they really did. There was nowhere to go. All the Hillers were already in the Norwood backfield.
There's McHugh on the attempted run. This is going to push Norwood back.
Norwood is going to back them up to the 30-yard line.
Like you said, a seesaw battle. Just when Norwood thought things were going their way, now they're back on the 30-yard line.
You're right.
Looking at 1st and 20.
First down is about 14 to go following the penalty.
1st and 14 as they will put Steves under center. We have a whistle prior to the snap. What do we have here? Not quite sure. In any case, back to action. Steve's under center. McHugh in the backfield. He's going to pitch it back. And here goes Mahoney up the near side. And he's dragged down by Paul Litcher.
Good blocking by Norwood there. He got almost 10 yards out of that run.
Got up to about the 38, it looks like. Mark Mahoney for 8.
So now we're looking at about a 2nd and 14.
You have to imagine that since the run's not working too well for either team, really, they'll really have to open up the pass game a little bit more, especially Norwood. We've seen the Hillers with quite a few pass attempts, but Norwood not so much.
Yeah, I think they've only attempted 1, maybe 2.
Right. Offset eye in the backfield. Back to pass. Rolling to his right under pressure, and he eludes Sokol somehow. Throws a pass, nearly intercepted. What a great defensive stand there by the Hillers. Steves was in big trouble being tracked down by Justin Sokol. Threw the pass, and it was nearly picked by Petruni.
I don't know how he didn't get eaten up back there. He somehow escaped the sack, only to throw it right into Petruni's stomach. He's playing defense, and it would have been an egregious interception for Norwood.
Well, if Justin Sokol's chasing you, you get a little nervous.
Right.
3rd and about 18 to go. Steve's going to line it up out of the pistol with the back to his left. Takes the snap, looks to his left, under pressure, dragged down. Devin Canty with the sack.
That's a huge sack there. Right when the Hillers might even be feeling like a little let down, that they didn't get this big sack on the last down, they came right back and just overwhelmed the offensive line there and cut another one.
That's going to be a loss of several yards. And for Canty, that is his first sack of the season. Or excuse me, he has 2.5 now on the season, leading the team. They will hunt it away. Snap and the kick. It's going to be a short one. Short wobbly kick lands at the 42. And then it actually took a Hiller's bounce to about the 45. So Hopkinton will start off with pretty good field position.
Yeah, a dangerous play by the punt return team there. He came up like he was going to field it, and then at the last second decided not to, and it bounced right in front of him and almost hit him.
Well, it looks like they're going to mark it at the 35.
They almost got the block on that punt, too. They had a free runner in at the punter there.
I'm going to assume it went out of bounds, or else it'd be further up. But the Hillers get the ball back, and let's see what they have in store. Litcher lined up out of the gun with Karatza to his right. Two receivers either side. He'll take the snap, and he is going to hand it off. Here goes Karatza up the far side. Won't get very far. Brought out of bounds right around the yard marker. He'll probably get a yard or two with progress as Joey McHugh took him out of bounds.
It looked like one of those, like a run-pass option for Litcher. He kind of ran with the ball in Karatza's stomach there for a little bit and then let go of it, almost like he was waiting to pull it out.
And typically, we've seen the Hillers, Karatza's their go-to running back, but we've seen them mix a few other guys in. But tonight, you're getting a whole lot of Karatza.
Yeah. Norwood's getting a heaping helping of Karatza tonight so far.
Litcher out of the gun. Karatza in the backfield. A high snap. Karatza tries to pick it up. He fumbles it. Loose ball. Who's got it? Norwood saying they have it, and they do. Yet another momentum shift. And recovering that, I want to say it was Nahum Perry Huggins who was able to cover it up.
It looked like Karatza had a decent chance to pick it up. It's a shame he couldn't get his hands on it.
He nearly had it off the bounce. In fact, I think he thought he did, but just kind of bobbled it. And the Mustangs get a huge break. We'll start off from the Hillers' 32-yard line.
There's Norwood in their familiar formation here. 2 wideouts on either side, 2 backs.
Motion left to right as they'll hand it off to the up back. Not much room there for Dwyer.
He lost a yard or 2 there. Great defense on the line there.
Evan Van Beek and Carlos Linton in on the stop. That clock continuing to roll down. A quick moving half up to this point. Back to the line they go. Steve's under center, offset eye in the backfield. Motion right to left, takes the snap, hands it off, up the middle. This taken to about the 30.
About 4 yards there. Good push by Norwood's line right at the point of impact there. So another big third down here for the Hillers defense.
It certainly is. You have to imagine, there's a good chance, even if you get the stop, Norwood will go for it, as they are in Hillers territory, which has certainly been a rare thing tonight.
Yeah, they are in that in-between area of the field where too close to punt, too far for a field goal.
Dwyer,
they're in 4-down territory.
Dwyer in the backfield, back to pass. Under pressure, eludes Sokol, throws up the far sideline. And was that caught? No, it was incomplete. And that is going to bring up 4th down and about 7 to go for Norwood. It was a good effort by Steves, eluding Sokol.
Yep, Norwood with 3 substitutions here, but appears they're still going to be going for it. They didn't bring out their kicking team. 4th and 7 here.
Yeah, they're going to go for it. And I agree with this decision. You're in Hiller territory. This could be a momentum boost if you are able to get the yardage you need. Steves back to pass, throws to his left, hauled in by Kelly. And Kelly will not get very far, and it's a turnover on downs. In on the stop, guess who? Carlos Linton.
Yeah, nice defensive stop there by the Hillers.
Well, Wally, I thought this would involve a little more scoring tonight, but so far I'm very wrong.
Yeah, all the excitement's been on defense.
Hillers get the ball back. They'll start at their own 25-yard line. 4:47 left to go in the first half.
So they've been able to move the ball pretty well. So let's hope they can keep doing that. Wear down the Norwood defenders and get it all the way into the end zone.
Litcher going to line it up out of the gun. Karatza in the backfield. Takes the snap, looks to his left, throws the screen, incomplete, in and out of the hands of Karatza.
I think Karatza was looking at the 40 yards of open grass he had in front of him right before he caught the ball. He had a lot of room to run there.
2nd and 10 for the Hillers. After tonight, Hopkinton going to be on the road for a couple of weeks. They'll be in Medfield next Friday night and in Westwood on the 21st, followed by a home meeting with Holliston. Litcher out of the gun, Karatza in the backfield. And someone jumped, I believe this is going to be against Norwood. It will indeed. Jumping prematurely, that was Nahum Perry-Huggins, the junior.
There you go. There's an extra 5 yards for the Hillers here now. Makes it a more manageable 2nd and 5.
The Hillers will certainly take it.
So he's got 4 receivers out there, 1 running back.
Out of the pistol this time, takes the snap, back to pass, thrown up the middle, it's caught. And Petruni takes it up to about the 35.
That's going to be close.
That'll be about a yard short. A little less than a yard.
First down.
Oh, no, they're going to give it to him.
First down. Upon further review, first down.
I let the deceiving vantage point get to me again.
Yep.
Nice job by the Hillers there. That was just kind of a little curl route. But it gets the job done. Litcher out of the gun. Karatza in the backfield. Takes the snap. Hands it off. He'll bounce off the tackle to the near side. And he's brought out of bounds at around the 40. About a 5-yard pickup.
Tough run there. Ran straight up the middle. Had some resistance. Bounced it out to the outside. And got about 6 yards there. And a hard hit at the end of it.
Karatza's been the go-to for this Hillers running game tonight. There has not been anyone else really in the backfield. Litcher out of the gun with Karatza in the backfield. Motion right to left. It's Petruni in motion. He's going to pitch it. Karatza. And this time he's good for about 3 or 4.
Yeah, another run outside. They're about 2 yards short, I'd say.
That'll make it a 3rd and 2 for the Hillers.
Yeah, Tom, you're right. They haven't given it to anybody else in the backfield tonight at all. It's just been Karatza after Karatza.
Litcher once again out of the gun with none other than Karatza in the backfield. Petruni in motion. Hands it off up the middle, pushing his way forward. That should be enough.
Again, that's going to be close, but I think that they're going to give him a first down. He's right there.
Oh, Karatza a little slow to get up, but he eventually does. You imagine he has to be a little bit tired by now. He's getting a lot of carries out there.
I was going to say it was the big guy laying on top of him that made him slow to get up, but
that might have affected things too. Hillers slowly but surely moving the chains. Yeah, 2.5 minutes left. I think they're going to have to work a little quicker, though.
Yeah, they're approaching midfield. And last week we did see them kind of run out of time at the end of the half.
Up the middle, holding by Petruni at the 40, and he's going to take it up to about the 26-yard line before he's brought down.
Yeah, great play. Nice catch by Petruni and a lot of yards after the catch. That was probably a 10-yard catch, and then he ran it for another 15 yards.
Nice gainer there by the junior. Charlie Petruni with a couple of big receptions tonight as the Hillers right back up to the line. Litcher out of the gun with Karatza to his right. 2 receivers either side, pulls down the high snap. He'll hand it off, and Karatza going to take it to about the 25.
So this is about where we were last week running into the half, and I said they have plenty of time, no need to panic, and they got one play off and then ran out of time. So let's see if they manage to clock a little bit better tonight. So I think they got to move faster than they did last week.
I agree. 2nd and about 7 to go. Litcher out of the gun. Karatza in the backfield. Takes the snap. Looking to his right. Throws to his right.
Oh, that's interference.
Incomplete, but that is going to draw flags. Blatant pass interference there. Right in the way of Petruni was number 7 for Norwood, Ryan Conley.
Yeah, that's another big pickup for the Hillers.
You just kind of stood there and just let the contact happen. You're not going to get away with that one.
Yeah, he kind of set a pick on him.
Right. This isn't basketball. So the Hillers going to have a fresh set of downs deep into Norwood territory.
Yeah, they're going to spot it on about the 6.
That's actually
Oh,
about
sorry.
the 12-yard
Yeah, 11
line
or 12,
there.
yeah.
We have that deceiving vantage point, Wally.
Yeah.
Happens to me all the time. Litcher out of the gun, motion right to left as Prasanna moves over, and he'll hand it off. Here goes Carrazza up the middle and fighting his way to about the 3 or 4 yard line. A nice gain there.
Great gain, right up the middle. A lot of good blocking by the interior lineman. Now we're at a minute to go.
8-yard pickup. And the
Bring in the
Hailers
play.
looking like they might get a score before the end of this half.
Yeah, let's hope so. The clock is running down.
They are going to take their time getting up to the line. 40 seconds and counting left to go. Litcher out of the pistol. Carrazza in the backfield. Prasanna lines up to Litcher's left. Takes the snap. Hands it off. He's going to throw the screen. Carrazza. And now he's going to be brought down for a loss.
And now we're 23 seconds to go. They really took a lot of time off the clock trying to get that play off.
They were looking to fool this Norwood defense, and it did not work. It was a risky play there that did not play off. And you're having success running the ball up the middle. I don't know why you get away from it there, but they tried for the fake, and it didn't pay off, Wally.
Well, they've been giving the ball to Carrazza the whole game, and they have a new guy in the back, not a new guy, but a different guy, and they fake the handoff to the different guy. Norwood knows it's not going to go to him. It's been going to Carrazza the whole time, and he throws it to Carrazza, and the defense is waiting for him.
Well, the good news is you still have very good field position, but the bad news is you got a 3rd and 1 and 19 seconds left.
Yeah, they needed to take a timeout there. They were running out of time. That play took a lot of time to get in from the sideline and to run.
Certainly did.
So they really should have 2 or 3 plays if they can to get this in, and I'll be interested to see if they can do that.
You really want to come up with points here. I mean, especially in a close game like this, you don't come up with points here. That could really affect you going forward. And this is going to be a handoff. Carrazza working his way up the right side. Did he get in?
He's right on the goal. Touchdown.
And it looks like he did. Touchdown, Joe Carrazza. That was about I want to say, a 6-yard touchdown run by Carrazza.
Yeah, he met a lot of resistance down near the goal line. It was a good push to get over the goal line. And they score and only leave 11 seconds on the clock for the defense, so just the way they wanted it.
It was all planned.
Yep.
Ravitch out for the extra point. And did we get a timeout?
Yeah,
Looks
timeout.
like we did. So they're going to talk about what they're going to do here in the extra point situation. But a nice touchdown drive, and it burned about 4 minutes and 36 seconds off the clock. And it was a drive that went 75 yards.
Yeah, that's a long drive, and that's actually pretty short amount of time off the clock. It just was worrisome at the end to watch the time ticking away.
That's what the Hillers needed there. I mean, there was a lot of back and forth momentum shifts, and it was still anyone's game, but that really just gives you that extra jolt heading into the second half.
Yeah, especially with it being a touchdown rather than a field goal. I think that's going to be a big boost going into the half.
They will go for the extra point to try to make it 7. And we had some premature movement, I believe. Timeout Hillers.
So they're going to back the Hillers up on the kick, which may alter what they decide to do. So Norwood had a wide open guy on the far side. Looked like he was going to come in unblocked, almost like on that first kick that got blocked. And I think the Hillers' left side of the line was a little antsy and jumped there.
Yeah, and I think Coach Sanborn might have saw that and just got the timeout call off in time.
Oh, yeah, I hope so. Yeah, they're not moving him back. Yeah, you're right. They got the timeout.
So
Sanborn said, block that guy on the end.
typically, you don't get 2 timeout calls on an extra point. The snap and the kick, and it is right through, no problem. Hillers lead it 7-0.
Had it all the way.
A nice drive by the Hillers, but there is 11 seconds left, so you want to make sure you control this lead going into the halftime
right.
locker room.
So,
no big plays here.
Yeah, you want Ravitch to really kick it deep, and and then prevent a big return.
And a great drive by the Hillers to head into the halftime locker room and hopefully keep the lead. And a great point brought up by the scoreboard official who's with us. The Hillers do get the ball back in the second half.
Yeah, right. They did. That was their decision to defer at the beginning, and it looked like it was going to work in their favor until they couldn't do anything when they finally got the ball. But hopefully it pays dividends on a double back-to-back score here going into the half and then coming out of the half.
Right. Ravitch set to kick it away. And they're going to squib it here. Back to about the 35 it goes. And return to the 44. I agree, but then I disagree with that.
Right.
I get why they did it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you give Norwood pretty good field position.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Still 6 seconds left. They got time for 2, maybe 3 plays.
Right. Two deep throws. One to the sidelines, one deep. You don't want to give up the big return when the whole field's wide open, but you kind of want to make them go the whole length of the field.
And the wind is going against the Hillers, so I do see why he didn't try to boot it out of the back of the end zone. I think once we switch sides for the second half, the Hillers, or if the Hillers were on the other side, they certainly would have booted it out of the back of the end zone. We'll see what Norwood does here. They're likely going to try to run a play or two.
It's a tight
Or will
formation.
they just knee it out? That is also a possibility. And they're going to talk about it. They're going to take a timeout. Pretty slow moving last couple of minutes to this second quarter.
Norwood doesn't want to take their timeouts back home on the bus with them. Yeah, so I think they're trying to figure out what they want to do. If they want to just kneel on it or take a couple of shots downfield. Their formation that came out was real tight formation, no wide receivers split wide, almost like they were going to kneel on it. But the quarterback was back in the shotgun. So I don't know if they were confused or if we're just confused.
Maybe a little of both.
The Hillers are bringing in their real deep prevent defense.
Here we go, the final 6 seconds of this first half.
All right, they're still lining up in that tight formation with one running back in the backfield with Steve's the quarterback.
Steve's going to line it up out of the gun, takes the snap. He's going to hand it off. Fighting his way upfield is Dwyer, finding a little room, and he's going to be brought down by a pair of defenders. And on the stop is Paul Litcher along with Andrew Budden. What a pretty good gain there, but time does expire. That is the end of the half. And after 2 quarters of play, it is a 7-0 Hillers lead. And Wally, in what has been a mostly defensive game, what a great momentum boost for the Hillers to get that touchdown just before the end of the half.
It sure is, and they really drove the ball really well in that drive, and a couple of other drives also, like the one where it ended in the blocked kick, and then another one ended up turning over on down. So they're moving the ball well. it'd be nice if they had a few more points to show for it, but they'll take the 7-0 lead going into the locker room.
And as we head to the halftime break, I just want to mention Healers will receive the ball to start the third quarter. And when we come back, we'll try to get you scoring updates from the other TVL matchups going on tonight. A huge TVL large matchup between Holliston and Ashland. You got Westwood at Medfield, Norton at Medway. So hopefully we'll have some score updates when we come back for the second half. But at the end of the first half, it's the Hopkinton Healers 7, Norwood Mustangs nothing. You are tuned in to Hopkinton Healers Varsity Football on HCAF.
The winner of the 50-50 raffle has been selected. The winning numbers are 201-624. Again, 201-624.
right at the end of that second half, and momentum's certainly on their side, and they'll be getting the ball back to start off this half.
Yeah, they're hoping to get that back-to-back scoring drives right here at the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half. They played it well. They've driven the ball well in the last couple of drives, so let's hope they can continue. I don't know if the weather's going to help them here. The wind's going to be at their back, and it's really starting to pick up. I'm noticing because everything's starting to blow around in the booth here.
Well, I'll tell you what, it will help their kicks.
Yep.
They're going to be sailing, especially with Avery Ravitch handling those.
And this kickoff, is going to be a short one for them potentially, and hopefully get a good run back and start the second half with some good field position.
And we talk about kickers being an advantage, and I think that was one of the Hailers' advantages in that first half. You have an effective kicker even against the wind. We'll see what Norwood has right now. And this is going to be a low sailing kick that'll land on about the 25, return from the 15. And it is going to be a pretty good return, taken to about the 34, 35. So about a 29-yard return.
Yeah, that's just what we were hoping for. A nice, good return, start with some good field position.
So here comes the Hailers to start off this drive at 11:53 from the 44-yard line. And they have a big opportunity here to really try to start to take charge in this game.
Yeah, if they can score points at the end of this drive, that would really, really put them up here.
Robert Litcher and crew will line it up. Litcher out of the gun, Carrazza in the backfield. Two receivers either side, a little motion along the left side. Takes the snap, he's going to roll out to his left, throws upfield, and it is dropped by his intended target, Seamus Murphy. That was great defensive coverage by the captain, Casey Sheehan.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. You said he dropped it at first. It was really,
well, it wasn't
really
all his fault.
Right, that was great defensive play by number 11 there, Casey Sheehan.
It was an understandable drop.
Absolutely.
Is that a statistic? What do they call those, UDs? Yeah. Second and 10. Couple score updates to tell you about. Holliston leading Ashland in the second quarter, 12-6 in a big TVO large matchup. And Medway leading Norton 28-14. That game in the fourth quarter. Litcher going to line it up out of the gun. Takes the snap, and he will hand it off. Carrazza eludes one tackler, and he'll take it for a couple. And he turns nothing into something there.
Yeah, he was kind of getting wrangled in the backfield, and he kind of got away from him and then moved upfield for 3 yards.
Yet another nice run by Carrazza, and obviously Carrazza, the top running back on his team, but is it surprising to you at all that he's really the only one getting the ball out of the backfield?
Yeah, it is surprising. The last few weeks they've kind of shared the ball in the backfield with a couple other guys, but he has really either won the job outright or this is their game plan for tonight is to use him as much as possible.
And we'll see if they end up mixing anyone else in, but for now, it looks like it's all Carrazza. And once again, he is in the backfield. Litcher out of the gun. In motion left to right, and it is going to be Charlie Petruni on the call with the end around, taking it to about the 40.
Yeah, little wide receiver sweep there. Got about 3 yards. A lot of running to get the 3 yards, but they'll take every yard they can get.
So there we go. Someone else getting a carry besides Carrazza.
Even though it's a wide receiver, it's still rushing yards.
They'll take it. That'll make it fourth.
Third.
They're fourth and four.
They hadn't flipped the
So what will they do
yet.
here? It looks like they're keeping the offense out there. Oh, no. There's Ravitch. I stand incorrect. Ravitch set to kick it away. One back to receive for Norwood. And it's going to be a nice end-over-end kick. It'll drop at around the 35 and sail back to about the 22. A nice Hiller roll. And that's where Norwood will start this drive.
Yeah, got a good roll in that kick.
So here comes the Mustangs offense that has struggled to get much going. But really, both offenses not racking up a whole lot of yardage. Hillers had 56 through the air in the first half. Norwood had 20.
Was that all on that one play, perhaps?
As they are going to line it up with quarterback under center. And it is going to be a direct snap to the running back, who will take a big hit as he is brought down at around the 26-27.
Yeah, got about 4 yards out of that, but the linebacker came up and really laid the hit on him.
That was Brian Dearborn getting the call. And it brings up 2nd and 7. Back to the line they go. This Norwood offense does tend to work quickly. They'll put Steves under center once again, and he's going to pitch it back. It's going to be another run this time, looking for the left side, and he won't get there. A great takedown by Devin Canty.
Yeah, he had help. He came around the corner, and Devin Canty, and the other guy smothered him.
And that is going to be a 3-yard pickup.
Now the Hillers are on the field again with a 3rd down. They've really had good success on 3rd down here on the defense this game.
Back to the line is Norwood. Steves under center. Lone man in the backfield. It's Dearborn, and he'll roll to his left, throws up the sideline, has a target that will be close to the first down. Hauling it in was Joey McHugh, the senior captain.
Yeah, the forward momentum, they're going to give him the first down.
That is
so he went right to Tom. He went right to the sticks and set up shop right there. Caught the pass and was tackled back, but he was over the first down marker when he caught the pass.
The Hillers had 82 yards on the ground in the first half. Norwood with about 20. So the Hillers certainly won the ground battle in the first half, as this is ran up the middle for a couple. And on the call that time was Jack Dwyer.
Justin Sokol out there talking to the referee about something.
He did manage to get a couple extra yards more than I expected, so it's a 2nd and 5. Back to the line goes Norwood. They're trying to work quickly, I think, to tire out this Hiller defense. And they are using a wide array of running backs, which is quite the opposite of what the Hillers have been doing this game. As Steves takes the snap, rolls to his right, and completes it to Dwyer. And that is going to be marked down at around the 42.
Yeah, gain of about 2 yards there. Hillers really had him covered well. He was open when he caught it, and then the Hillers just smothered him as soon as he caught the ball.
Brings up a 3rd and 3 to go.
Now again, let's see how the Hillers do here on 3rd down. They've been doing really well in this game.
Lone man in the backfield. Steves under center, takes the snap, hands it off, run up the middle. That's going to be enough. A good ball. The ball came out, but I think he was down. I believe he was down. That was Dwyer on the carry, the sophomore, and they will indeed mark him down at the 45. And that is the correct call.
I felt that he was down. I didn't hear a whistle, though.
Oh! Maybe it wasn't the correct call. I thought that he may have been down, but there was no whistle. The refs talked it out. So you know what? Hillers have the ball. That's the correct call.
I heard no whistle. Yeah, the shame is
I didn't either. I just thought he was down.
he picked it up on his feet and ran it into the end zone. It's a shame he doesn't get the yards.
But, you know, I think the refs, they couldn't confirm he was down. There was no whistle, and the Hillers clearly had the ball after the fact. So if you play, and that's what's so important about playing through the whistle, you get that ball, they might not know if you're down or not. So the Hillers, they get the turnover here.
Well, a smart play by the Hillers to do that. And the runner ran it all the way into the end zone just for that reason. Play it all the way through.
Right.
You're hoping, they could, you never know, the refs could.
Well, you did get the whistle when he was running towards the end zone.
Yeah.
So that kind of hurts you, but at least you have the ball. Empty back set as Litcher lined up out of the gun. Karatza in motion left to right. And here goes Litcher on the designed keeper. Up the near side, finds some room, brought out of bounds at around the 32. A nice gain there.
Big stiff arm at the
Litcher.
end. Big stiff arm by Litcher at the end there to get a few extra yards. And then he had a few things to say to the defender.
That's about a 13-yard gain. And that is the second biggest run of the game by the Hillers.
Only the third runner.
Right? And if you look at the rushing stats behind Carrazza, it is Litcher second place on the team with 102 yards rushing coming into this game.
Yeah, it's nice when you have a quarterback that's big, that can run, take a little bit of a hit.
Litcher out of the gun once again. Carrazza in the backfield. Prasanna in motion. Takes the snap, hands it off. Carrazza up the middle, finds a nice gap. And he's going to take it to about the 27, about a 4-yard pickup there.
Yeah, he got right through the line into the secondary. The only guy in front of him stopped him. He had a little ways to go if he got by that guy.
The Hillers keeping things moving along, facing a 2nd and 4. 6 minutes and counting left to go in this quick-moving third quarter. Empty back set this time.
5 wideouts.
3 to his right. Litcher out of the gun. Takes the snap. Looks to his right. Throws to his right, and it's caught. That's Petruni, and Petruni is brought down just past the 20.
Yeah, first down. He caught the ball. He was able, and the guy wrapped him up around the legs. He was able to get free from him and get another 4 or 5 yards out of it.
That was about a 7-yard pickup. Hillers with a fresh set of downs deep into Norwood territory.
Now, if I had replay in my telestrator, I would show you this is where he caught it, this is where he was getting wrapped up, and watch how he shook him, and he gets the extra yards.
We'll have to try to get you a nice telestrator.
I just use my finger in the air for now.
Litcher out of the gun, Carrazza in the backfield. Prasanna going to motion once again. And here goes Carrazza. This time Norwood ready for it. The ball comes out, but it's recovered by the Hillers as Evan Van Beek able to cover it up. Nice job by Van Beek. Good heads-up play there. Able to keep it in Hiller possession.
Yeah, that was the dangerous one right there when Carrazza put the ball on the ground. We're lucky to get it.
Norwood read that play perfectly. Ball marked at the 27. That's a loss of about 9.
Here they are on the 5 wideout set again. The old run and shoot offense.
Raza with an empty back set out of the gun. 3 receivers to his left, takes the snap. Looks to his right, throws to his right, it's caught! And a big gainer there inside the 10.
And that's right at the markers for a first down. I think it's good for a first down, though.
Yeah, that was Joe Carrazza, lined up as a receiver that time, making things happen.
Yeah, great catch.
He took a big hit, but he's a hockey player. He got right back up.
So here we are, 1st and goal here.
First and goal from the 9 for the Hillers. Litcher going to line it up out of the gun once again. Carrazza in the backfield.
Spread out 4 wide receivers.
Motion right to left. That's Petruni in motion, and he will throw towards number 3, who is Pantera, and it's incomplete, just through his hands. That'll bring up second and goal from the 9.
Yeah, another bullet by Litcher that really whistled through his hands.
And we have the famous Scotty Mackin with us in the booth. Scotty, how are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Doing great. You enjoying the game?
Yep.
Hillers playing good, aren't they? They will huddle up and get set to go. And a score here could really put the game in their favor. Litcher out of the gun. Carrazza in the backfield. Takes the snap, looks to his right, throws to his right, and it's dropped by his intended target. And that was Seamus Murphy.
Tried to put a little touch on that ball, like a corner fade. Defenders were right there to tip it.
And it was a good play call, I thought, but some nice defensive work by Norwood.
I do like that they've kind of opened up the game here, even close to the end zone. Here we go, 5 wide receivers, no running backs.
You're going to line up Carrazza in the right slot, Paul Litcher on the outside. Carrazza in motion, and it's going to be a designed run by the quarterback. To the near side he goes, and he's brought out of bounds at around the 1. A nice run by Robert Litcher.
Yeah, nice play there. I kind of like that. 5 wideouts, then you got a motion man. You fake it to the motion man, and he kept it. I thought he could get around the corner. Oh, that was too bad. Too much momentum going sideways.
That ends up being about an 8-yard pickup by Litcher. And it's 4th. They're actually a little bit further back. They're about at the 3, so it's about a 6-yard pickup. So it's 4th and goal from about the 3.
Again, he's going empty backfield with 5 wides.
And obviously here they're going to go for it. Carrazza lined up in the left slot. Litcher takes a snap out of the pistol, throws to his right. It's intercepted. Wide open field in front of him. And here he goes across midfield. The 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, all the way to the end zone. And that is about a 99-yard return after the interception.
That's a disaster for the Hillers.
That is the last thing you wanted to happen there.
You're 1 yard away from a 2-touchdown lead, and now the game potentially be tied. I really thought with the 5 wideouts and the all spread out, I thought Litcher was going to keep that and run.
And you want to talk about a momentum change. There you go.
Wow. And Litcher chased him down about 95 yards, too, and couldn't get him.
A 7-6 game, and now they'll attempt the extra point, but it looks like they're going to call a timeout first.
Well, that's what they do. We call 2 or 3 timeouts for every extra point.
Right, it's becoming a theme in this game.
Boy, Tom, that's really a killer right there.
It certainly is. That would have pretty much put the game heavily in your favor, and now it's anyone's game again.
Right, especially the way the Hillers defense has been playing. If you get up 2 touchdowns or even just 2 scores, 10 points, you know, you're really doing well there, and the defense can hold it. But now, like you said, the game, it's, you know, now you're back to even. Anybody's game.
Timeout called, 2:01 left to go.
They're going to put that right behind him, get the ball back.
So I'm being told there was a taunting call after the pick 6 against Norwood, so that will affect the extra point a bit as it moves them back 15 yards. So more than likely, they won't go for that extra point. They might go for 2 here. I don't believe they have a strong enough kicker to go for the extra point. If they are indeed going to go for 2. So if the Hillers get a stop here, they'll at least be able to maintain the lead. Out of the pistol, takes the snap, throws up the middle, and it's dropped by his intended target, Casey Sheehan.
He had it right in his hands, too. He turned his head to look at the end zone to see where he was. He was on the 1 or 2 yard line, and I could see him turn his head right before the ball got there. And bad things always happen when you do that.
And I did confirm it was Ryan Conley with the pick 6 for Norwood. It happened so quick, I was a little unsure, and we don't always have the best view from this angle, but it was Ryan Conley with the pick 6, so a huge play by Ryan Conley, the junior.
Yeah, a huge play for Norwood. Puts them right back in the game. But like I said, if the Hillers can put that right behind them and keep the momentum going with their offense, just moving down the field, hopefully they'll be in the same spot again in just a couple of minutes.
Right. And the good news is you still maintain that lead, and that could be big with the way this game's going.
Right.
Norwood set to kick it away. And this has certainly turned into a defensive battle. Typically when these two teams meet up, you see a whole lot of offense, but not so much tonight. 1:59 left to go in the third quarter. A 7-6 Hillers lead. It's Bobby Elifat set to kick it away. A low sailing kickoff to about the 15. Here's the return. Carrazza takes it to about the 29 before he takes a hard hit. In on the stop, that was Frankie Forrest, the sophomore.
When it comes to momentum and yards, you got to say that the Hillers are kind of dominating this game offensively. But that 99-yard return for a touchdown is killer.
Yardage-wise, yes, but there's only one thing that matters.
Yeah, and the Hillers they've get down to the goal line and they've turned the ball over on downs. They've had they've had a field goal blocked, and they've scored a touchdown and then an interception. So they really have hurt themselves down close to the goal line.
Raza out of the gun, he'll hand it off, and taken to about the 28. So not much there for Carrazza.
Yeah, you hope the offense isn't down, hanging their heads at this point. They really need to come back strong after that turnover.
Well, one of the things I could say Norwood's doing very well in some crucial situations is the defense really reading the offense well.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, the defensive back, especially when the Hillers are passing it.
Empty back set out of the pistol this time. Takes the snap, and he is under pressure, going to take it up the near side. Brought out of bounds at around the 37-38.
Nice scramble. Good, a lot of good yards right there. That's a nice scramble. Felt the pressure, saw the open lane, and took it.
Yeah, it didn't look like he was going to get much, but able to turn it into a pretty nice gain.
3rd and 1.
5.
They really need to convert here.
Back out to the huddle is Litcher. Wind's starting to pick up a little bit here, blowing towards the Norwood side. Litcher going to line it up out of the gun. Carrazza in the backfield, and he will hand it off up the middle, fighting his way forward, and that'll be enough for the first down as he makes it to about the 43.
I think that's a big first down. You get the ball right back. You get to the 3rd down. It's tough. You get the conversion. Now you feel like you're moving again.
And that will wrap up the third quarter. And the momentum shifts, the constant momentum shifts just continue. And at the end of 3, it's Hopkinton 7, Norwood 6. What a game, Wally.
Yeah, I would say when we were talking before the game, it sounded like you were ready to take the over on the points in this game, Tom. But that's not the case. It's a defensive back and forth and a little bit of tough luck for the Hillers on the goal lines.
It certainly is, and I have no clue what's going to happen in this fourth quarter. This game has really been unpredictable. And you saw that nice drive. Hillers all the way up to the 1-yard line, and they end up getting pushed back a couple yards, and a pick 6 by Norwood totally changes things. A local update, North Attleboro leading Milford at the end of 3 quarters, 15-12. As we are just about set for the fourth quarter. And we'll try to get you some more updates throughout the course of this game. A lot of big matchups going on, a lot of big divisional matchups.
All right, now the Hillers have turned the field around. They're heading into the win for the fourth quarter here.
Holliston is leading Ashland 28-6 in the third quarter. Holliston trying to make a statement tonight as this run doesn't get very far by Carrazza, brought down for a loss.
Yeah, he lost 4 or 5 there. They really need to keep the ball moving here. They really can't give the ball back to Norwood. Norwood, I think, will feed off the momentum from that interception, and the Hillers really can't give the ball back to them this quickly.
It's a 2nd and 14 to go for the Hillers. Litcher going to line it up out of the gun. Carrazza in the backfield. 2 receivers spread out to either side. He'll take the snap, hands it off. Or no, play action, rolls to his right, and it's incomplete off the hands of his intended target, Paul Litcher. That was a pass a little high there in the direction of Paul, and that'll bring up 3rd and 14 to go.
Yeah, 3rd and real long here. This will be a shame if they have to give the ball back.
And despite the fact, I'm sure the Hillers not really anxious to open up their pass game too much after a few turnovers, they're going to more than likely have to, because Norwood's just not budging when it comes to the run.
Right. This is going to be a tough. If they don't convert now, they're punting into the wind also.
Right. Litcher out of the gun once again. Carrazza in the backfield. Takes the snap, looking to his right, throws up the middle to Carrazza, and Carrazza has some room to work with. 45 across midfield, into Norwood territory to about the 40, and that'll move the chains for the Hillers. A big play there.
Yeah, big first down, really big. Nice screen pass. Carrazza just barely touched the offensive lineman as he came by, and they were bearing down on Litcher, and all he did was lob it over their heads. Carrazza and the blockers up in front of him did the rest.
And that is exactly what the Hillers needed.
Yeah, they needed to push into Norwood territory here. That's a big play.
But a 24-yard pickup as they are back to the line. Litcher out of the gun. Prasanna in motion right to left. Takes the snap. Carrazza up the gut is good for a yard or 2.
Yeah, Norwood's starting to close down the interior there. But I think the Hillers are still a stronger team on the line, but Norwood is starting to fight back a little bit here.
The clock moving along, and the Hillers starting to mix a little bit more passing when needed, but in those early downs, you still see him going to the run.
Yeah, here we go, 5 wideouts, empty backfield. Carrazza moves back.
And he's going to go play action here and taking himself up the middle to about the 37. That'll be a pickup of 2 or 3.
Litcher looks like he's hobbling just a little bit.
He's taken some pretty big hits.
Yeah, he sure has.
Especially on those keepers. A lot of hard tackles in this game by both sides. Very physical defenses. And Litcher once again going to line it up with an empty back set. 3 receivers to his right. He'll take the snap, looks to his left, and now he's going to roll to his left, throws upfield, and it is caught at the 20-yard line. A big reception there by none other than Paul Litcher.
That's a great play by Paul Litcher, the receiver. When Robert Litcher threw it, I looked like to me he was going to get intercepted, and he came around the defender and boxed him out for the ball. That's a great play by the receiver, Litcher.
That moves the chains. And that was about a 14-yard pickup by Paul. Back up to the line they go. The Steelers' offense moving a bit quickly here. Trying to throw this defense off balance. Carrazza in the backfield. Litcher takes the snap, throws the screen to his right, and getting to about the 30 before falling to the ground is Seamus Murphy.
Yeah, he caught the screen. No, he made the defender right in front of him miss. Then he got a few extra yards, then slipped and fell. But nice to get a few yards.
Pickup of 3, 2nd and 7. Clock continuing to roll down as well. This drive has certainly burned significant time off the clock. They took over with just under 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, if the clock is going to continue to run like this, where possessions will become precious, and so the Hillers really need to score points. They don't want to eat up all the clock and then let Norwood get the ball to come back and score to win the game.
And Litcher had the ball. There is a flag on the play. I think someone jumped. Litcher thought he had the entire defense faked out, but there was a penalty, I believe, against the Hillers. Not quite sure what the call is. I'm assuming someone jumped early. It's an illegal shift against the Hillers. That'll push them back. So erase that. Nice fake out by Litcher.
Yeah, that's too bad. So now we're looking at 2nd and 12.
I think Norwood knew it. And that brings up 2nd and 12 to go. Litcher going to line it up out of the gun. Carrazza in the backfield. 3 receivers spread out to his left. He'll take the snap, looks to his left. He'll throw to his left, and it's going to be a nice gain here by Charlie Petruni, who fights his way towards a first down, and this is going to be close.
A really well-played screen there. You could see the receivers, other than Petruni, set up their blocks ahead of time, and they were ready to give him some open space.
And it looks like he was just a tad short. About a 10-yard pickup by Petruni. We'll mark him at a 3rd and 1. Big play here for the Hillers.
Looks like a long 3rd and 1.
The clock continuing to tick down. Hillers have had the ball for nearly 8 minutes of game time. Out of the gun, he'll hand it off. Carrazza getting the call, bounces off a defender, takes it near side towards the goal line, and he is in for the touchdown! Joe Carrazza!
Huge run for Carrazza.
13-yard touchdown run. And the Hillers are up by 7, looking to go up by 8 with the extra point.
So the wind has really picked up, so this kick might be tricky. But that was a great run by Carrazza. He just barely got it in at the pylon.
Avery Ravitch set to try to make it an 8-point lead. The snap, the kick, and it is no good. It was just wide, so it will remain a 13-6 Hillers lead.
Yeah, I was worried about the wind on that kick, but yeah, it's nice to at least have a full touchdown lead here.
It certainly is, and that missed conversion opportunity by Norwood now is pretty significant, as
now,
the Hillers will still be up by 7.
If the Hillers can stop them on defense, with the clock running the way it has been in favor of the Hillers, if the Hillers can get the ball back, they potentially could run out the clock.
6 minutes, 4 seconds left to go as the Hillers set to kick it away.
Yeah, the defense really needs to come up big here. Give the ball back to the Hillers and let the Hillers just chew up the clock for the remainder of the game.
Ravitch tees it up, a pair back to receive for Norwood. He'll send it flying end over end, a nice kickoff all the way back to the 5-yard line. The return is up the far side to about the 28-29. And that is where the Norwood offense will start this drive with 5:56 left to go.
A nice deep kickoff all the way to the 5-yard line. That's a good one. So let's see what the defense can do here. I'm really interested to see if the defense can get this ball back quickly and then see if the Hiller offense can just kind of end the game on a long drive.
Steves is going to line it up under center with an I formation in the backfield, motion left to right. It's going to be a run up the middle, taken for several yards. On the call that time was Jack Dwyer. A nice run to start this drive for Norwood.
Yeah, about 9 yards there. That's a deep one.
Norwood offense has worked quickly throughout the game, and they will certainly work quickly here, trailing by 7. Now some discussion amongst the officials.
Bringing out the change to measure the first down here.
Clock stopped at 5:25. To me, it looks short, but I'm done guessing because I've been wrong all night.
Yeah, we've had a difficult vantage point here.
They will move the chains. It is a first down. So a real nice play to start off this drive for Norwood. I formation in the backfield. Steve's under center, hands it off. Another run up the middle. This one won't get very far.
No, they're not going to let the 9-yard run, or 10-yard run happen again.
Sokol leading the charge on that stop. And that was Ryan Dearborn on the call that time. They'll go right back up to the line with that clock quickly running out of time.
Yeah, we're down to 4.5 minutes to go here.
Motion left to right.
Uh-oh.
And this is going to be a run up the middle, and that will be enough for a first down. Jack Dwyer getting the job done once again.
Yeah, Norwood's now moving the ball pretty effectively right up the middle on the ground.
Turned into about a 14, 15-yard pickup. They'll stick with the I formation. And they'll stick with the run. He runs into a wall, bounces off tackle, takes an air side, finds a little room, and he is brought down at around the 40. And that was a much-needed stop by the Hailers because he had wide open field in front of him if Andrew Button didn't get the hand in there.
Yeah, he bounced into his own offensive line there. The Hailers had really stuffed the middle, and he was lucky to bounce it outside, and then he got some healthy yards.
Norwood finding some room along this Hiller defense. This time the lone man in the backfield. It's going to be a pitch back to Dwyer. Along the far side he goes, and he's brought down for a loss. Charlie Petroni in on the stop.
Great defense. Paul Litcher got him at first, was dragging him down, and Charlie Petroni finished him off in the backfield. That's a loss.
Flag, face mask. And this is going to be against the Hillers. Big penalty here, and a fresh set of downs.
And a lot of yards. Just when things are going their way, they turn it around again.
Norwood moves all the way up to the Hillers' 29-yard line. And they are very much still in this game.
And we're getting close to 3 minutes to go. This is a nail biter that really shouldn't be a nail biter.
Offset eye in the backfield. Steves takes the snap, hands it off. Dwyer up the middle, pushing his way forward. Still going. And he is still on his feet. Somehow still pushing the pile all the way up to about the 5. And we did have a player get hurt on the play, an injured Norwood Mustang. That looks like Patrick O'Brien, the junior, who's down. We hope he's okay, but Norwood with a fresh set of downs.
And a whole lot of yards.
And will they check on that injured player? With 2:48 left to go, we'll step aside. You're tuned into Hillers Varsity Football on HCAM. There'll still be time left, most likely. How did he stay on his feet?
Everybody's holding him up, both sides.
Yeah.
Question: if it's a tie game, do they play overtime?
Yes. And we are ready to continue on off the injury stoppage. We certainly hope the injured player is okay. Patrick O'Brien, who is shooken up. Norwood in very good position here, facing a first and goal from the 5-yard line after a huge run by Jack Dwyer, and he just was able to push the pile forward and break a number of tackles, and it was great blocking in front of him as well.
It was just like a scrum run for the last 25 yards.
They're going to go I formation once again. Why not? Motion right to left. Dwyer up the middle and right in. And Norwood has made it a 13-12 game. And they could tie it with the extra point or go ahead with a 2-point conversion.
But Hiller's had a number of opportunities to put this game away. And then at the end, when the defense appears to be too tired and the Norwood front is starting to push them around, all those yards are right up the middle.
Right. The defensive front has held strong all game. They haven't let pretty much anything up the middle, but now perhaps getting a little bit tired out there.
So what do you think? You kick it or you go for two like a hero?
With the way Norwood's kicking has gone, I think they're going to go for two. And it looks like they're going to.
I think you're right.
They're going to try to take the lead. And once again, they're coming out of the I formation with Dwyer in the backfield. Motion right to left. And it is going to be taken into the end zone. And that is Joey McHugh. It was a pretty good fake, and McHugh takes it into the end zone. And they make it a 14-13 Norwood lead. Unbelievable.
That is unbelievable.
But there's still 2 minutes, 20 seconds left on the clock, so this game not over yet.
No, there is time. And they need to manage the clock well in order to score any points here at all.
The good news is a field goal can win it.
Right. Kicking into the wind, though, which is unfortunate.
That's the bad news.
You're right.
Norwood will kick it away as they have taken the lead. And you have to give credit to Jack Dwyer, breaking tackles and just forcing his way up the field.
Yeah, he wouldn't be stopped. Some of our weather people are telling us that the wind is coming across the field.
Now I feel like it's coming towards us.
I know, right through the window.
Teed up by Bobson Elefant, the senior, set to kick it away. Back to receive for the Hillers. You got Joe Carazza and Paul Litcher. And they're going to put this one over to about the 15. Here's the return. To the near side, some open space. It's going to be a good return. Maybe a really good return. Paul Litcher into Norwood territory.
What a great return. There were two real small creases that he slithered right through. And he brought it all the way up to the 30.
And actually, they're going to mark that inside the 30, it looks like.
I thought he was going to beat that last
line.
guy. Tom, I really thought he was going to beat that last guy and take it all the way to the house.
So the Hillers have 2 minutes and 8 seconds left. And they are working from the Norwood 27-yard line. They are in very good position after that great kick return by Paul Litcher. Robert Litcher out of the pistol. Takes the snap. He's going to take it himself up the middle. And he finds some good space and works his way to about the 15.
Yeah, real nice run up the middle. Really big blocking up front by the offensive line. It really opened up a real wide hole that he ran through.
They'll put him at the 17-yard line and 11-yard
Second and 1 here.
Oh, correction, a 9-yard pickup. Litcher going to line it up out of the gun. Carrazza in the backfield.
Oh, got movement.
Someone jumped. It looks like it might be against the Hillers.
Litcher went with a hard count, and unfortunately it was Carrazza that fell for it.
It's unbelievable. It feels like both of these teams, whenever something good happens, the next sequence, something bad happens.
Right.
And this is going for both of them. Like in Norwood, you get the touchdown, but then you give up a really long kick return.
Right.
If you're Hillers, you get a nice run to start the drive, then you get a penalty. It's been that way all game long.
We're on 2nd and 6 now.
The Hillers push back a bit, still very good field position.
Only a minute,
Litcher out of the gun.
only a minute and 15 to go.
Hands it off up the middle. Carrazza not going to get much. Brought down at around the 20.
They got to start to use their timeouts here.
And it looks like they might have used one here. They will indeed. A minute and 3 seconds left to go. The Hillers quickly running out of time.
They are. They got Avery Ravitch warming up on the sidelines here. They're still pretty deep, and the wind is pretty tough now.
They are yardage-wise in his range, but as you've mentioned, wind's certainly a factor. And I think regardless, I mean, if they're facing a 4th down situation, unless it's 4th and 1, they're 4th and relatively short, you have to probably try the field goal.
I think you're right. Because they're running out of time.
Right. I mean, you got a 3rd down situation now, 3rd and 4 to go. So this could be the last play you have up until that field goal if you don't get a fresh set of downs.
So from there, you'd be looking at a 38-yard field goal.
Carrazza going to line up in the backfield. Litcher out of the gun. In motion right to left, Sam Pantera. Takes the snap. And play action up the middle as a target that's caught. Into the end zone goes Charlie Petruni. Touchdown, Hillers!
What a great play. They've been feeding Carrazza the whole game. They fake it to him on the play action, and Charlie Petruni is wide open down the middle for the touchdown. That's a great play.
A 24-yard touchdown reception by Charlie Petruni.
We were worried they would have enough time.
Top.
We were worried they wouldn't have enough time. Now you almost worry that they left too much time on the clock.
Right. This game's not over yet. With the way this thing's going, who knows?
Yeah.
And they're going to call a timeout prior to the extra point.
They might be thinking about going for 2.
Officially broken the Guinness Book of World Records for timeouts called before an extra point.
Right. I wonder if they're going to talk about maybe going for 2.
I think they should.
I think they should
go
too.
Up by 7. I think you have to, actually.
Right.
You don't, even if you don't get it, you don't really lose much.
Right.
Well, that's not true. If you get the extra point, you get the 6, and then they have to get their extra point. So I can understand either way.
Right.
But with the way Norwood's kicking game has gone, I might consider going for the extra point here.
It looks like they're going to go for 2. Avery, I see Ravitch on the sideline.
Right. Yeah, they're going for 2, or at least they're going to make pretend they are and try to draw them off sides. We still have a timeout to burn. But it won't surprise me at all if they snap it, and they will. And it's going to be a keeper up the middle. He's close.
Did not make
and he
it.
did not get in. It's going to remain a 19-14 game with 58 seconds left to go.
So now they're going to leave it in the hands of the defense, and hopefully they can respond better than they did on the last drive.
Well, I can tell you one thing. This game has certainly been a thriller.
It really has. The first half was slow.
Right. The second half has been insanity. And Norwood will have One last opportunity.
All right, do you kick it deep like we thought they would before and they kicked it short, or do you kick it short and give them a good field position? I think you got to kick it deep.
I think that's what they will aim for. Ravage tees it up and set to kick it away. End over end towards the near side. The return from about the 12. Taken to the far side, looking for some space. Pretty good return. That was Matty Mahoney on the return, the junior. And here comes the Norwood offense with 51 seconds left to go.
Yeah, the returner, he got it. He tried to get around the far corner and really never could, which is good coverage by the Hillers for not giving up a big run back there.
They'll start from their own 24-yard line. The Hillers defense, they have been on the field quite a bit. They look tired the last couple of drives.
Yeah, they really did look tired.
Well, let's see if they can pick it up one last time for a big stop.
Yeah, hopefully the offense gave them a little bit of adrenaline and give them a boost.
Out of the gun goes Steves, takes the snap, throws to his right. It is caught. And coming all the way to the near side before taking a big hit is Kelly. On the stop with a huge hit delivered is Devin Canty.
Yeah, nice hit. Really nice hit.
Ball is taken to about the 33.
We got a timeout. 39 seconds to go.
That ended up being a 9-yard pickup. So it was a nice pickup on that last play.
Yeah, it was a nice play, and it could have gone for more yardage. And the receiver beat the first man that was on him, and then the other two guys got him just before he could convert the first down.
Norwood only has 39 seconds to work with.
The Hillers look like they're going to not rush very much. They're going to set back on D.
Steves is going to line it up out of the pistol this time. Takes the snap, and he's under pressure. Going to take it up the middle. Finds a little room to the near side, and will take it out of bounds into Hiller territory at around the 48.
31 seconds remaining on the clock.
The Hillers got a free rusher at him and flushed him out of the pocket, but the rest of the defense was so far back that he had a lot of space to run. And now we're at midfield with only 30 seconds to go. Plenty of time.
That was an 18-yard pickup. Right, they only took 8 seconds off the clock with that big gainer.
Well, he was able to get out of bounds and stop the clock.
Steve's going to line it up with the back to his left, 3 receivers spread to his right. Takes the snap, looking up the middle, under pressure, gets rid of it, and a smart move there as he took a big hit.
I wouldn't be surprised if they could throw a flag for grounding there, but it doesn't look like they're going to. I don't think he was outside the tackles, but he was under duress, and he just threw it away.
It did look almost simultaneous from when he threw it away and the hit was delivered. And putting the pressure on once again, Devin Canty, who has had a very underrated role in this game. He's been tremendous.
Has really stepped it up, especially here in the fourth quarter. So that stops the incomplete pass, stops the clock. Now they got 25 seconds. And you know we're in 4-down territory.
Yeah, if you didn't get rid of that ball, this game is over.
You hope you can pressure the quarterback into an interception.
Steve's lined up out of the gun. Jack Dwyer the back to his right hand. Taken over to the left side and brought down by none other than Devin Canty is Jack Dwyer.
Huge play. Kept him in bounds. Forces Norwood to call a timeout, and they lost yards. That's a huge play by Canty.
Norwood takes a timeout, 18 seconds left. And if you're talking about who the player of the game is, Devin Canty certainly has to be one of the candidates.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely in the conversation. He's been really big, especially in the second half. Really, a couple really big hits, too. That was just a great tackle, but he's really has wiped out some kids.
He certainly has. He's come through with some huge hits, and of course it's been Joey Carazza who's really been the main force on the offense, but also you got to give credit to Robert Litcher, who has been tremendous on those keepers.
Yeah, he really has. Yeah, a nice big quarterback. It runs really well. So here we go, 18 seconds to go, 3rd and 12, and you know they got 4 downs to work with here.
Off the timeout, lined up, out of the gun is Steves. Dwyer to his right, motion left to right. Hillers looking like they're going to blitz, and they indeed will. Canty trying to cover out, he gets rid of it. To the right side, it's incomplete and batted down. A nice bat down by Charlie Petruni.
Canty was right up in the quarterback's face there. He really is he's really come on strong here in this last quarter, especially rushing.
This will be the last opportunity for Norwood as they face a 4th and 12.
Yeah, this is the game here, 4th and 12, 12 seconds to go.
And I don't believe they have any timeouts left.
I was just going to say that I don't think they have any timeouts left either. So even if they convert on 4th and 12, if the ball stays in bounds, they might not have a chance to even get another playoff.
Right. Steve's going to line it up out of the gun. This time he'll put Dwyer to his right. 3 receivers spread out to his right. This is the last hope for Norwood to extend this drive. Takes the snap. Under pressure, dragged down! Justin Sokol with the game clincher.
Yeah, he's just clinched the game right there. You're absolutely right. Canty was double teamed, so Justin Sokol's got a single defender on him. He easily overpowers him for the sack.
What a takedown by Sokol. And it'll be a turnover on downs, and the Hillers will come up with the win here tonight. It wasn't always pretty. There was a lot of momentum shifts in this one. But the Hillers held strong, put some great drives together, and they are going to improve to 4-1 on the season.
Yeah, it's good. They won a close game here, a hard-fought game, which it shouldn't have been a close game. But what they do get out of it is they win. They learn how to win on a tight game here.
Absolutely, and really all facets of the game played a role tonight.
Yeah, the offense moved the ball really well. The defense held them really well. The only thing that was trouble for them was, pushing the ball in on the goal line.
Right, and at times in that second half when the defense got tired, they had trouble stopping the run, but for the most part, the defense up front did a tremendous job, and they were on the field for quite a long time.
They were. And that one drive was really the only one at the end where the defense kind of didn't hold up well.
Well, the Hopkinton Hillers get the job done, a crucial TVL large win as they take down Norwood 19-14. Hillers improved to 4-1 on the season. Norwood falls to 2-3. Wally, any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
Yeah, that's a good momentum builder for them for going into next week. I think it's going to be a great game next week. And like I said, we were just saying how the defense held up real well, and the offense held up real well. Yeah, that's a good win for them. They just got to learn how to really settle down on the goal lines.
It certainly was a great win, and they will move along to next week where they have a big road game up against Westwood, and they are getting into the meat of the TVL schedule. Some big games coming up, but the Hillers in very good shape to perhaps clinch a playoff spot if they haven't already as they get the 19-14 win here tonight. For our crew, John Ritz, Denise Pataki, Ashley Simmons, my broadcast partner, Wally Henneberry, I'm Tom Nappy. This has been Hopkinton Hillers Varsity Football on HCAM. We thank you for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll talk to you again soon. Goodbye, everybody.